You are joining us live on Sky Sport from the Alexandra Palace, London. This is the Paddy Power World Dance Championship, brought to you by the Professional Dance Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Northern Ireland's World Cup semi-finalist, our World Grand Prix finalist. Time to meet the history maker, Brendan Dolan! The winner of 15 televised titles, including 2 Premier League titles. And ladies and gentlemen, the 2-time back-to-back champion of the world, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson!
Right, here we go then, night 13, our first matchup. We have Gary Anderson, the 2-time world champ, who was here in the last 16 for a 13th time in 15 years. But can he go a step further? Well, Dan was just talking about it. He's been one of the form players this season. 3 ranking titles. He's posted the highest average over the last 12 months of any player on the circuit. And he's been good here at this tournament, just solid really. Comfortable in beating Simon Whitlock in the second round, and then very good in beating Boris Kritschmar last night. But a different prospect awaits him here in Brendan Dolan, who has already seen off a former champ. He ended Gerwyn Price's hopes of a second title just a couple of nights ago, showed how dangerous he can be. A 4-2 victory over the 2021 world champion, had some big finishes along the way. So can he spoil Ando's party here? Well, in their one meeting this year, Dolan came out on top. That was on the Pro Tour. But Anderson did win 5 in a row before that one, that going all the way back to 2015. So who wins here then? Well, for the first time tonight, let's head to comms and join Glenn Durrant and Dan Dawson.
Yes, a superb session of darts gets underway with the iconic Gary Anderson, who has breezed brilliantly through the tournament to this stage, against Brendan Dolan, who has battled and fought tooth and nail to get to the verge of the quarterfinals. A stage he has reached just the once before. You put that up against Gary Anderson, who reaches the quarterfinals minimum more often than he doesn't here at Ali Pali, and you'd think that, well, obviously Gary will get the job done. It's not like that with Brendan Dolan. He showed Gerwyn Price what he's about. He's beaten them all over the years, pretty much, in big TV tournaments. You cannot underestimate this man, can you, Glenn?
No, first of all, and good evening, everybody. It's the respect that Gary Anderson has for Brendan Dolan. That was something that stood out for me in that interview as well. I think that was very classy. Brendan is just someone that players don't particularly want to play. He can be a different type of challenge, and we just sort of before the game started, I was looking at ways that Brendan will and can win this game. I mean, they know each other so well, Dan. I mean, 19 times they've played each other, and it's only 10-9 in Gary's favour. So Brendan on the back of that win over Gerwin Price, or win over Michael Van Gerwen at the match play, he'll be feeling okay, you know.
Now, if you look at all the winners of the World Championship over the years, Brendan Dolan has beaten all of them on TV, apart from Rob Cross and Dennis Priestley. Now, he could face Rob Cross in this tournament. It's unlikely he'll face Dennis Priestley, it has to be said. But it just shows, doesn't matter who it is, Brendan Dolan has the game to beat anybody. Has he got it tonight against a flying Scotsman who has been flying all year in terms of the standard he's produced?
Yeah, on the seasonal average, the best of them all. But my first
76.
visual thing that I'm seeing is I just sense that Brendan's playing a little bit quicker here. It's double 8 for a nice little 14 dart in a boot, and just something that I can see there, that Brendan just seems to have sped his game up just a touch, and well, early indications will look good.
60.
Well, Gary did lose the opening set to Boris Kritschmar in the previous round. Said he never felt that settled. It still took Big Boris a massive check out to take the set in the deciding leg, but then the flying Scotsman's motor got running.
Yeah, it's just the throw with Gary Anderson. I talk about people with long careers, and you know, one of the biggest assets that Gary Anderson has is that phenomenal throw that he's got, but he's human. He's like everybody, and he's nervous. We talked about the walk-on yesterday being one of the best ever. Understandably, he gets that in Scotland, and once again, I mean, there was goosebumps for me just listening and watching that walk-on.
Just the 80. Brendan's going to need a whole lot to get to a finish. That ain't it.
Yeah, and I don't think it was the fact that Gary didn't settle yesterday. I mean, I said that was the case. I just
60.
thought Boris Kritschmar was excellent. He looked super relaxed, very cool and calm, and yeah, it was. I think the positives came from Big Boris, but Gary handled it and dealt with the challenge very, very well.
48. Gary require 161.
Could bring the ball into play, but perseveres on the treble 20. 61, one of those awkward checkouts. You might only get the one dart at the double. And Brendan is going to be breathing down his neck.
He's found his rhythm, Brendan. It's seems to be suiting him. It's double 16 for Anderson.
45.
Just see Dolan now, just a little bit nervy, just flicking his darts once, and you don't want to hear your game shot. You just want a chance at this 83, and wow, he now becomes the favourite.
Taken out with no fuss at all. Brendan Dolan breaks the Anderson throw and is in total control of set 1.
Just look at the respect once again from Gary. It's really nice to see.
100.
I was actually having a Ruby Murray with Chris Dobie and Joe Cullen when Brendan
60.
Dolan was playing Gerwin Price, and there was no shock with Chris and Joe. I mean, you know, we expected Gerwin Price to beat this man, but he doesn't fear reputation. He doesn't get scared of playing the best. I think he sees it as a real benchmark and an opportunity for him to see where his game's at. And I think he'll relish this challenge.
Gary Anderson warming to the task. The first maximum of this one. Dolan looking to respond.
95.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch Gary a couple of times down on the Players' Championships, a couple of times in Barnsley when he was in. I just thought he looked happy, his demeanour was good, he was sat with the right people, he was laughing and joking, and just putting some phenomenal averages together. 54 averages over 100 this year. That is sensational
81.
stuff.
Brendan, you require 106.
But this is to sweep the set for Dolan. One treble combo finish. He's got the treble. That leaves double 16. And Brendan Dolan misses a set dart.
Gary, you require 120.
Gary Anderson is going to get a dart. Oh, is he? Glenn Durrant.
Brendan, you require
Misses the big
16.
number, does not get a dart for the leg. He's only had one dart at double in this set. And he's just lost it. Brendan Dolan takes the opening set with not a great deal of bother at all. And Gary Anderson has not got into a rhythm as yet. Bother, it's the same darts we've seen from Dolan all the way through this tournament, scoring pretty well and taking his chances, Glenn Dolan.
Yeah, lovely 96 average to boot, a 76 finish, 83 finish, double 8 right smack bang in the middle, and plenty of food for thought with this man. And interestingly enough, just in between the break there, it was Brendan who was pretty much straight back on the dartboard, and literally as the game's about to start, Gary Anderson's coming back. That's telling me he just needed time away just to get his head together. However, this was the situation exactly 24 hours ago when he played Boris Kritzmar, who came out absolutely flying, and Gary started producing darts very similar to that first one there.
100.
Once he gets that rhythm going.
Well, you talk about Gary Anderson, his rhythm. If he does get going, if Gary Anderson produces the fabled Gary Anderson practice game, which is not just him who talks about it, his practice partner Ryan Searle has been talking about it all year. He says, my normal level is about 104 to 112 average. Nobody will want to play me if I play my proper stuff. And he's right.
Yeah, he's just a joy. It's been a great story. You know, there's so much being made of Luke Littler and the age and whatever, but the way Gary's bounced back this year, and I think he's proven an awful lot to himself and others. And I guess if he just puts the graft in and starts believing again, still as good as anybody, isn't he?
123.
The greatest to throw a dart, Gary Anderson. It's down to 64. But Brendan could apply some pressure.
44. Gary, you require 64.
Not a lot. I was about to say,
Brendan,
that's
you require
magic.
170.
Well, this would be magic. He needed 2 treble 20s. See loads of 170s in this tournament. Scott Williams producing the most entertaining one probably this afternoon. But 32 for Gary Anderson to get his first leg of the match. Wrong side of the mark.
16.
Wrong side of the wire.
Requires 70.
Yeah, I need to stop predicting things. I expected Gary to come out absolutely flying after his win yesterday, and it's a chance for Dolan. It's nice when you've been second best. He hasn't been in this leg. He's double 4 away.
62.
And that would have been for a breaker throw as well.
Gary requires 16.
Another go for Anderson. And he finally pins the double. At the 7th time of asking in this match, Gary Anderson does get a leg.
Just got to mention the crowd again. I mean, Gary, I think, was taken aback. The decibel level as he was going for that double 8, double 4. It just makes you feel $1 million when you're up there. I've been chatting with Stephen Bunting today, labelled the People's Champion, and he just couldn't believe the support, and they do make a big, big difference in this game. Brendan Dolan, very humble man is Brendan. Very, very likeable. He's always got time to change. Just one of those guys you want to see get success.
And he's had his fair share of success. 9 ranking titles, major final at the World Grand Prix, of course, and what's arguably even more impressive, Glenn, the first coming of Brendan Dolan, where he won about half of his titles. Yes, he was an excellent player, got up to just outside the world's top 10. What he terms his 5-year chill out, where he was dropping down the rankings and things weren't going well. Most players don't come back from that sort of slide, and he has, and picked up another handful of titles, and he's doing stuff like this.
Yeah, trust me when I tell you how difficult it is when you're going on that slide as well. And he just, as soon as you begin to write off Brendan, he pulls out a Players' Championship win. He has a good run in the TV tournament. And I don't think it's by coincidence. I think when the pressure's on, that's when you get the best from Brendan. And he'll be liking the fact that Gary's not in all cylinders at the moment and chance eat the level.
Does he go double-double or try and find his way through? Well, he tried to find his way through to that treble 20, and it's probably the wise decision with Gary way back on 161.
Yeah, my thoughts as well.
130.
Lovely set-up shot from Anderson.
Brendan, you require 40.
Dolan missed a couple of darts for the last leg. Does not make the same mistake.
Gary to throw first.
I just think a word I wrote down is just Gary needs to be patient here.
60.
Even then, I know he's a super quick player, but he rushed to the hockey there as Brendan hit that double 10. He mustn't panic. You know, he's got all the experience in the world. He's one of the real legends of the game. Back-to-back world champion, but he can still panic under the situation, and he's just got to believe in that incredible ability of his.
100.
While you are right in everything you say, this has not been a good start from Gary Anderson. And the longer this goes on, if Brendan Dolan can really jump all over this, take his chances, because he will get some with Gary playing like this. If he could get the first couple of sets in the bag, it really does throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
54.
He's floundering a little bit at the moment. In pre-competition, Dan, I thought this was going to be the blockbuster of Gerwyn Price against Gary Anderson. It could be. Very much Brendan Dolan going through the quarter-final. Again, what a story that would be.
100. Brendan, you require 130.
No need to go for the bullseye at the end of this, so even if he gets the treble 20 this next dart, he should lay up. Is he? Yes, he is. Sensible play.
Yes, sensible. There's always the fee with that 18s route. You hit the treble. I've seen that done for a bust, but very sensible. Tells me he's confident. Not an awful lot coming back from Anderson. Good times for Dolan at the moment.
For a breaker throw and to take charge of set 2. It is all Brendan Dolan here. 2-1 up, throwing for a 2-set lead now. 5-1 in legs, and Gary Anderson has only had darts to win 2 of the legs so far.
Gary looks stunned. The crowd have been silenced. Brendan Dolan is in full flow right now. We've seen Brendan Dolan play many times for Northern Ireland at the
60.
World Cup. He has crept to number 3 now, Dan, but I was just looking, if he gets to the semi-final, he would then overtake Daryl Gurney. Josh Rock now the Northern Ireland number 1, of course.
100.
Yeah, been a really entertaining battle with those 3 right next to each other in the rankings for the last 12 months or so. Josh Rock now pulling clear, but Gurney and Dolan, both players showing that they've got plenty
60.
to give. Dolan looking to reach the quarterfinals. Gurney falling in the last 16 to Dave Chisnell this afternoon.
Very quickly though, Gary Anderson's really took the grips of this, and remember, it would be a breaker throw. He would have the dart in his deciding leg of this set as well, so a maximum you feel here for Brendan.
97. Gary, you require 121.
Look at the score. He's got the freedom to do what he wants from here, but skinny 1 is not what he wants.
Unbelievable, he's saying.
5.
Dear me. even when he got himself in a commanding position in the leg, he might have just thrown it away, and with it, the set potentially.
There's a lot of frustration and anger in there for Gary. Something he'll have to manage. He knows that.
84.
He's a two-downer for Brendan.
16.
419s would leave tops. He has the 419s. He does not get the tops, and Brendan Dolan to take a 2-0 lead in sets.
Chattering away to himself, self-motivated, and what a dart that is. Have we got a major shot on our hands here? Brendan Dolan with that 100 finish is taking full control of this match right now, and plenty of food for thought for Gary Anderson. He storms up the stage. Compared to look at Brendan looking really cool, looking at his family. Dolan leads 2-0.
Well, 2 nights on from dumping out Gerwyn Price, Brendan Dolan has another former champ in his sights. The man from Northern Ireland has raced to a 2-set lead against Gary Anderson, and though just not firing yet, averaging 84.5, and he has missed 7 of his 8 darts at the double. Not going to plan so far for the 2-time world champ. Yeah, 2-0 in our first match of the night. Before we get back to that, you can see the other mouth-watering ties coming up this evening. After this, we have 5-time world champion RVB. He meets the world youth champ, Luke Littler. Well, a few moments ago, Polly was having a little chat with Luke backstage at the Skypad. Polly.
Luke Littler, back in the Palace again. A big game awaits tonight. Barney is a hero to many, but not many get to play him on the biggest stage of all. I just want to show you this. I mean, you've seen it before, but this is you as a 2-3-year-old doing the iconic Barney celebration. I love that. Tonight, Luke, I've got to ask, do you think you're going to be starstruck on there at all?
It's going to be a mad experience. Obviously, seeing him walking on, it's going to be a good experience. Whether all my family have said, my sponsors have said, win or lose, I've overachieved winning the first 3, and now I get to play Raymond.
Are you going to be cheering along with the crowd when he walks on?
Yeah, I was doing the same as Matt Campbell's walk on.
I love that. Hey, listen, I don't know whether you've got any nerves. Are you feeling all right?
Feeling fine.
Feeling fine. Well, look, I want to get you a little bit more excited about tonight, because from your beloved Manchester United, we've got a couple of good luck messages for you.
Hi Luke, it's Johnny Evans here. You're doing great in the tournament, mate. I hear you're a big United fan. Good luck for the next match. Keep it going.
Luke, I'm here watching your beloved Manchester United at Nottingham Forest, and I hope we get the result that you want and that I want ahead of your unbelievable special match tonight against Van Barneveld. Your hero. It'll be such an exciting night for everybody, and I'm wishing you all the very best and sending you that Manchester United spirit.
Wow, there we go.
Crazy.
Johnny Evans and Gary Neville, your idols, are now wishing you good luck. How does that make you feel?
Unbelievable. Obviously, I've just seen the team news. Shame Hoyland's out, but sure we'll get the job done.
Have you got some of that Manchester United spirit in your belly tonight?
Well, we come back against Villa, a good Villa side, so hoping we can get the win tonight, and so can I.
Brilliant. Good luck up there. Enjoy it, OK?
Thank you.
Luke Littler will face Raymond Van Barneveld. They'll be hoping to do better than his beloved Manchester United by the sounds of things. However, Brendan Dolan, things couldn't be going much better, because right now, Gary Anderson, the great 2-time world champion, is getting Dolanised. 60% on the doubles for Brendan. This, I mean, it's reminiscent of the sort of finishing display he put in at the match play when he took Michael Van Gerwen out of the tournament.
Yeah, as good as Dolan's been good, I mean, it's how bad Gary Anderson's been. I'm just trying to work it out, and just walking away, he seemed to be rubbing his hand on his trousers if he wasn't getting his grip on the dart correctly.
130.
I wasn't expecting this tonight. I had the real privilege of watching Gary Anderson just play really beautiful for 4 sets
60.
yesterday, and I expected the same again tonight. It's not as if Brendan's playing like a different challenge. This really slow player Brendan is, and that's why Gary's not playing so well. Brendan's just been better.
100.
Certainly has. It's a sign of life.
121. Brendan, you require 164.
Again, Brendan Dolan's got the time here, so he doesn't need to go for this and take it out in 3 darts. So he doesn't. Sets it up.
32.
And once again was on the stage very, very early. And Gary leaving it right to the last second, so just engaging with the crowd and chatting with the crowd. And Brendan double 16 here.
To win a 7th leg in this match out of 8. This is one-way traffic. And we did not expect it. Look, Gary Anderson, a lot has been said this year that he's been so brilliant, hasn't worked out from the TV tournaments. The vast majority of them, he has walked into unbelievable performances. Gurney at the match play, Cross at the Masters. There is one that probably still annoys him. Andrew Gilding at the World Grand Prix. That's when we saw Anderson playing way, way below the standards he's been producing game in, game out, week in, week out. This is reminiscent of that.
Yeah, that word expectation. Everyone was saying Gary Anderson's going to win the Grand Prix because his floor scores and his wins were right up there, and yeah, he looked really disappointed. And I've been guilty tonight of exactly the same, of writing off Brendan Dolan before a dart was even thrown. I was not expecting, after 8 legs of darts, Gary Anderson just to win the one of them. This is a tough ask now, and Dolan, can he maintain this level? He's averaging over 96, and Gary is not at the races.
100.
Chips away and gets down to the 164. Now this time he will have to go for it if he's got the option.
139. Brendan, you require 164.
He stayed on the treble 20 bed. Many of the players are going treble 19, treble 19. Not to be this time. And he put pressure on the 74.
60. Gary, you require 74.
Well, even that's some pressure to a guy who's only hit 1 out of 8 darts at double. He'll get a couple here.
42. Brendan,
It's not changing, is it?
104.
And that was a nervous look at Brendan's score there. You can just see that's the agony you go through. It was the ecstasy yesterday when he was playing super. Dolan has got a dart for a big lead.
72. Gary,
Dolan misses the opportunity to break and go 2-0 up in this 3rd set. When does the missing stop, Gary?
No score.
When does it end?
Brendan, you require 32.
To break. Next door for double 8. And this is incredible. It is difficult to believe. The great Gary Anderson, the 4th man in the world, is being humbled.
Just look at the trajectory of that dart as well, and not a million miles away from that double 11. You just think things are going well for Brendan.
60.
As well as him playing really good darts here. Gary averaging 82. And that stems from 1 from 13 on the outer ring.
Gary's talked about being nervous at the start of matches, but you kind of think those nerves start to dissipate once you get into the match. But we could be at the end of the 3rd set here, and he could be 3-0 down, and at no point has he done anything to make himself feel even a little bit better.
There's not a nerve in his body right now, Dan, but there's an incredible amount of frustration. And why? Why is this happening? 24 hours ago I just looked $1 million. He's shaking his head, his demeanour's not good, the shoulders are sagging. But the greats find ways. I'm not giving up on him yet.
Well, this in a section of the draw where so many big names were taken out early. Peter Wright, James Way. Saw Gerwyn Price beaten by Brendan Dolan. Bert van Dijvenbode was in no kind of form, the world number 12, and went out early. If Gary Anderson goes as well, then it would be Brendan Dolan versus one of Raymond van Barneveld or Luke Little for a spot in the semi-finals.
I mean, Brendan came into this match despite winning 2 games with a -3 leg
60.
deficit. Meaning his games against Mansell and Price, they had more win of legs than Brendan has, but boy is he produced tonight.
Better from Anderson. Leaves himself 68.
And when you see 188, you're thinking 140 or 180, please.
Well, a ton certainly is enough to make Gary feel nervous. Double top it'll be. And double top is there. Gary Anderson has a leg.
Well, there's the strategy. Forget double 16, Gary, and go back to tops. He will have to break Brendan again, though.
And the crowd finally have a reason to start chanting his name again. Oh, what a first dart from Dolan. Surely it's a ton 40. That's a really disappointing visit as far as Brendan's concerned.
Yeah, you've had a couple of visits there from Brendan where he's hit that treble with the last start, and boy does it feel so different to 100 after that first start he had there. Is Anderson beginning to motor? He's still a big second favourite for this set because Brendan, remember, would have the darts, and Brendan is finding the treble.
99.
Yeah, it's not like a football match, Dan, where you can think, well, if I go 2-0 down and 2-0 down, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be my plan B. Your thought process and the way you've just got to do it on the job, and split second you're waiting for it to come back. And we're just beginning to see that split second with Anderson. This is much, much better.
It is, but a ton 40 from Dolan gets him level pegging. And despite winning that leg and starting to look a little bit more lively, Gary Anderson will not be feeling completely at ease. Far from it. This could be a settler.
81. Brendan, you require 106.
For the third set.
For a 3-0 lead. Treble 18. He's got it. Double 16.
74. Gary,
Width
you
of
require
a wire.
20.
For a second there, Dan, I wasn't sure if the crowd were a help or a hindrance, but Gary kept himself together. He openly admits that double 10's not his favourite. You can just see he's deep in thought now, and all he's asking for is, Brendan, don't score over 100.
He has his wish. This is ginormous, this leg. Gary Anderson needs to break. If he does, he's only a set behind. If he doesn't, he is 3-0 down in a race to 4.
Split this leg into bits. That's what he's thinking now. Job done so far.
100.
He's virtually grabbed the darts. Give me another 140.
He's already survived a dart for 0-3, and that's just 48. It's another loose visit. Brendan cannot leave a finish from 3-4-3, but he can certainly get a lot closer to finishing range.
Yeah, that was music to Brendan's ears. You just see him flex his arms there.
59.
Why is it, Dan, that when you go to a last leg decided, them treble 20s reduced by half?
140.
There's a bit more purpose in the Gary Anderson stride. Is he growing into this game?
100.
Set up play. Perfection from Anderson. Big 13 surely.
133.
Gary Anderson, in the biggest leg of the match, leaves tops after 12 darts. The finishing has not been good. Nothing's been very good from Gary Anderson so far, but he needs to get this right. The tide may be turning. Gary Anderson Anderson, absent for the first 2.5 sets, has got himself back into this game.
Gary to throw first.
3 legs on the spin, 2 against the darts, and now Gary Anderson has arrived.
My mind has gone back to that double 16 for the third set for Brendan. Will we be talking about that at the conclusion of this game? Fair play to Brendan here. That's a lovely, lovely response. His mind will be in turmoil right now.
Well, Brendan Dolan has done nothing easy in this tournament so far. As you mentioned, he's won back-to-back games, winning fewer legs than his opponent. Winning a game in set play whilst winning fewer legs than your opponent, that has happened. It happens about once per tournament over the 30 years we've had this. He's done it 2 games running.
60.
Just shows you how good he's been in the crucial moments. That crucial moment slipped away from him.
Yeah, my belief is when it gets tight, Brendan Dolan usually comes out on top, but fair play to Anderson there. He's the flair player, he's the headline act, and to come from 2-0 down there, but that's that width of a wide away. But this is lovely, this from Brendan. So they've easily fallen apart after that set.
Well, he went searching the treble. If Dolan was a little closer, he might have looked at a double-double finish or started on the 20s. But this is within his range. Not on this occasion.
Anderson's seen a lot more of this double top now. It was double 16, that was his Achilles heel early in this match. All of a sudden the doubles are beginning to go now. The crowd is just lifting Gary Anderson. The noise in here is sensational. But Dolan is still very, very much in that bubble, concentrating, focusing on that target area.
140.
Super.
What's it like, Glenn, when you've been on top against such a star,
59.
such a talented performer? You know they're way off their best. If you don't take your chance, then the anxiety's got to go through the roof, hasn't it?
Yeah, the little devil chumps on your shoulder saying you should have took that opportunity when it was there. But that little angel jumps up and thinks, keep believing, you're good. Gary's still not at his best. He still won that last set on just a mid-80 average. So you can be fighting with yourself. The most important thing is to clear that mind and just keep doing the things simple and just doing what he was doing in them first 2 sets. Nothing's really changed for Brendan.
How do you shoot the devil in the back? What if you miss?
When you require 121.
This is for Brendan just to re-establish himself, assert himself in this 4th set. And single 18, yeah.
89.
That's the bonus of going that way. You can get a couple of darts to the 18 segment.
Yeah, when he's got 3 darts in his hand, Brendan, he's looked good on a double.
45.
And no pressure coming back.
32.
Will you expect Dolan to get this?
He's under no pressure. I don't think he was walking. Thought it was in. That one is. Well, that just stops a run of 4 consecutive legs for Gary Anderson.
Yeah, once again, the family and friends, you can have a few thousand people screaming for Gary Anderson, but if you can just hear your family, just that one voice, they can be the biggest help. They can help Brendan get over this difficult period right now, but still very much in this set.
Twice Anderson has played Dolan here at Ali Paddy. Twice he has won, and he's won convincingly as well.
81.
This is already a very different encounter than those 2 previous ones.
Yeah, I looked at the head-to-heads and only played twice for
97.
since around about 2019, so you sort of take that out of it. On the bigger stage, the best stage, we're seeing a very good version of Brendan Dolan. The rhythm of him just looks so good, it really suits his game. I think that's a real positive he can take away from this match, whatever happens.
to lead double 12. That's exactly what he's done. It's only a second 180 of the match. They've both gone to Gary Anderson. This will be Brendan's first.
140.
Shouldn't have hit the max. 24. And when I think the Gary Anderson's World Championship wins, I do think of that double 12. Now it's awkward.
80. Brendan, you require
3 darts missed.
87.
Brendan Dolan has a chance to break. This is a real opportunity.
Is it the bull or is it double 5? It's the bull.
56.
Would have been for a breaker throw as well.
Gary, you require 6.
There's still an awkward double 3 to clear up here, unless he goes to the 2 segment.
Gary,
Straight in.
Gary Anderson. 4 flag, Brendan to throw first.
No reaction from either player, just a sharp and take a breath there from Brendan. Just once again, just sorting the situation out. He knows it's his darts now. He's going to have to break Anderson in this set.
Well, that dart there at the bull to break Anderson and be throwing for the set. The dart for the previous set. If Gary Anderson continues to improve like this, they're the sorts of chances that Brendan Dolan may be made to rue.
60.
The roof would have been lifted if that 9 darter goes in from Gary Anderson, let me tell you. We labelled it before the potential best night, the best session of the competition so far.
41.
And for a couple of sets, it was Brendan that was setting the headlines, but you just sense, don't you, that Gary Anderson is coming back.
140.
Oh, set play. It is brutal. In the space of minutes, Brendan Dolan has gone from looking like he might potentially thrash Gary Anderson
Gary, you require 81.
to now potentially being level with him. Double 12. It's there, and the Flying Scotsman has dragged himself back level with Brendan Dolan. He has had some scares, but he's still up there. Takes on the rock star Joe Cullen, but it's this opening game which it's level at 2-2. That wouldn't have been the most outlandish thing to suggest before we got going, Glenn. It's just the manner of how it's happened. Gary Anderson woeful for 2.5 sets. He was actually 8-1 down in legs, but he has won 6 of the last 7. It's all level, and the temptation is to think that Gary Anderson just plays like the normal Gary Anderson from here, but Brendan Dolan, it's just what we're doing is writing off Brendan Dolan there, aren't we?
Yeah, something he
Fifth set, first
pretty
leg.
much did before a dart
Brendan
was thrown. But if you'd have said to
reverse.
Brendan Dolan before a dart was thrown, after 4 sets, you're going to be both round about the 90 average mark. Nothing in it, nothing to separate, 2 sets apiece. He'd have went happy days.
140.
But in reality, he was a width of a wire from a double 16 to be leading 3 sets to 0 in this match. Gary Anderson has done what something we did mention, where the greats, they do find the way even when the going is getting tough, but Brendan Dolan is going absolutely nowhere, and he's back in that treble 20 bed. It's game on.
Well, it is a set where Dolan has the darts and he's kicked off with back-to-back ton 40s. Chance for the history maker to really just remind Anderson that it's not all about him and how well or how poorly he's played.
Yeah, they just seem to be bringing each other on at the moment now, don't they? They realise now it's just a best of 3 set match now, and
$60.
tell you what, there was everything went into that last dart. A bit of body movement, a bit of break dancing. Shabba. Did I just say Shabba?
60.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, then you require 161.
161. Facing both men. It's too big for Brendan. He doesn't need to persevere on the treble 20 here.
And I think I said that the reason he was going to do that because he'll go the bullseye with the last dart to guarantee him at least a 2-darter. Not the best board management from Brendan there. He may prove me wrong by checking out this 102 and say, what do you know?
93. Brendan, you require 102.
Started this leg with back-to-back ton 40s, but now he's having to take a ton plus finish out just to hold his throw. He's going to go to the bull here, is he? He is, and he gets it as well. He's gone the hard route, and he makes it work.
Great board management, Brendan. Only way to go.
It is a part of his game. He will go for the bullseye. Treble 14, a bigger target, would have left tops, but Brendan, he perseveres with that route, and it worked for him.
There is the suggestion that he could have fallen apart after that third set there, and just fair play to Brendan, though. All the skills you would think of with Gary Anderson, but when you start looking at the attributes and the values of players, the tenacity, the fight, and when it's a game like this, it's usually Brendan that comes out on top, and that might be on the mind of Gary Anderson, despite the fact he has pulled this back level.
Yeah, he's made of tough stuff. He's big stuff, as he's known. There's just more authority about Gary Anderson on the hockey these last couple of sets, isn't there?
Just the way the darts are going, but once again, this man is not folding. This match is very much in the balance.
Oh, commanding.
132.
And that has coincided with him playing better, not necessarily the reason for it. He basically, double 16 has been his go-to double all year, and he's had so much success.
100.
He started leaving tops halfway through this game, kind of out of desperation, but he has started playing better, and he hates double 10, but he pings it.
He never misses it.
Still hates it, and he'll tell you repeatedly.
60.
Just sense it's like a tennis match at the moment. Can the player throwing first hold the throw? You just sense it's this man with the ascendancy right now. You just feel if anyone's going to break, it is Anderson. Is the worst, the big bump in the road, is that over? Or will Brendan find something else?
Well, as you saw there, Gary Anderson's average just clicked above Brendan Dolan's for the first time in this match. He was fully sort of 9-10 points behind at the end of the second set. But that was a different Gary Anderson. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of matches where the players have really come out with staggeringly good averages. It's been this mid-match where it's just gone a little bit quiet. But in this game, it just sends that Anderson's taken that mid-80 average up. He's now just around the 90 average mark and increasing.
100.
And now the little barks of frustration about tons not being ton 40s or more rather than 60s and 41s.
Most common game for a professional dart player is 201, what Brendan's on in 6 darts. That's why these guys practice it so much.
Treble 17. For Anderson to lead.
96.
He's not far away from getting his nose in front there.
Require 160.
Brendan didn't look at that last dart. It's just that relief when you don't hear the game shot. I've just realised it is George Noble who's refereeing, so probably will go the distance. Tops for Dolan.
76.
These shots aren't going for Brendan now. There's been a few. Double 8. Gary Anderson leads in this darts match from 2 sets down and 2 legs down in the third. He has somehow pulled it round.
And I'm sure his family, as they celebrate there, they'll be inspiring Gary. That feeling of having your children there, your wife with you while you're playing. I'll tell you what makes you feel about 6'14".
Can Dolan respond?
One thing I can guarantee, Danny, will not go anywhere, will Brendan. That's part of his game. That's one of his strengths, one of his biggest attributes. He's a fighter.
Well, it was fighting that got him past his good mate and former World Cup of Darts partner Mickey Mansell in his opening game. It was fighting and battling that got him past Gerwyn Price. Now that is fighting and battling with some real quality in key moments.
85.
But there have been a few of those similar moments in the last 2-3 sets, and it just hasn't quite been there. A missed start for a 3-0 set lead, a missed start to break in the previous set, a missed start there
60.
to hold throw.
And if Gary was to get over the line, you don't see it, but it's good to have this as well, this kind of game that you've been involved in for the rest of the tournament. It's not often you see someone just blitz the way like Michael van Gerwen is doing, like Chris Dobie is doing at the moment. Sometimes you're going to have a match where, you know, you've just got to show a little bit of determination, and that's what Gary's going through in this game, because this
100. Gary
this 80 is for the 5th set.
Double 10 is there. Beautiful stuff. Gary Anderson. He is now flowing through this game. It is 3 consecutive sets, and he has the darts looking to wrap up a win. A win that halfway through set 3 did not look like it was going to get anywhere near close to it.
Yeah, nice little 107 average in that set for Gary Anderson.
140.
What have we said about Dolan?
Brendan, apart from that 3rd set, which he was bossing and then let slip, he's played at a pretty consistent level all the way through this game. It has been about Gary Anderson's level. But we know Brendan's got gears, and the little helicopter finger makes his first appearance of the night.
45.
Remember, this is on Anderson's throw. Yeehaw!
100.
Good leg of darts from Brendan Dolan. Great visit from Anderson. Doesn't get the lot. He might have needed the lot.
Brendan, you require 81.
I think he thought all 3 were in there. It's all about Brendan Dolan here. And with your opponent then 161, you have got a decision to make, and that's respect. Bullseye.
56. Gary, you require 161.
I tell you what, a little bit of magic. Just a little bit of magic from Anderson.
137.
Gets the next best prize. And because Brendan, wary of Gary, went for the bull, he now has to burn a dart to get to a double. And he does tidy that up very nicely. It is a break of throw. Resistance from Dolan.
Brendan Dolan has been to the quarter-final once. He is desperate to get back there again. And to have Gerwyn Price and Gary Anderson alongside his best mate Mickey Mansell as well, that is a tough route to take. I tell you what, is this match flip-flopping again?
A 4th match for Gary Anderson. He is desperate for this not to go the distance.
Again, that last dart there, just a little bit of everything came into that dart, and Brendan knew.
43.
Looked like he might be stealing a march on Brendan in this leg to get the break back. Kind of thrown it away. Down for the 19s.
Stay there, Brendan. Brain freeze.
Is it the lie he doesn't like? He's only moving around the hockey because he doesn't like the way that's kicked over.
Yeah, it's a great camera angle there. It's exactly not the fact he didn't know what the score was, just the way that dart was covering. Was there a plan B? There wasn't. Let's just leave the big fish.
125. Brendan, you require 170.
Oh, Brendan, that looks good. It is great. Bullseye!
145. Gary require 153.
Well, he tied it up to 25 and no bother in the previous leg. Do it again. And he's just one leg away from taking us all the way to a deciding set.
Just getting himself ready. Just loosening the arm. Get rid of all that tension in the body. Focus on the big 9. I've been here before, he's thinking.
The second leg,
Absolutely superb, Brendan Dolan. He is the argument that you were going to be written off and Gary was going to steamroll this 6th set, but he's proven an awful lot of people wrong tonight.
35.
Could we be going all the way?
He's arguably enjoying his best spell in the match here, Brendan Dolan, in terms of his standard. He's obviously had better periods of dominance. He's playing some lovely stuff, and Gary Anderson is trying to match him. That is 180 number 5.
100.
No real dramas for Dolan here, in the sense that he will have the dart in the next leg for the set.
He's not giving up on this leg. He is right in this leg.
Gary, you require 91.
Gets the treble, leaves tops, takes it out, no bother. Brilliant leg of darts.
Fourth leg, Brendan.
Biggest leg of the match. You want to start, you want to don't want a big 5.
Just left 81 after 9 in the previous leg and didn't get a look. How much he wishes he just had those darts in this leg.
100.
You're relieved with that. That's how good the game's getting to be when even 100 may not be enough. He's had a lot of 140s in this game as Brendan Dolan. What he'd give for another one of them right now. Downstairs though, but 2 trebles. Make that 3.
174.
This is superb from Brendan Dolan. To play brilliantly is one thing, to play brilliantly against an icon of the game is another. To do it after that icon has just roared back from the verge of a 3-set deficit to go into the lead. It is magnificent.
He's playing with real panache.
137.
It's a real stellar performance from Dolan. I'm delighted for him.
100.
This set, Dolan is averaging 116. We said he had gears, we said he had levels, he's found some.
16 or 8, it's 16, but double 16 for the set.
73.
Well, that one he can afford to miss. He will not be so fortunate when he returns to the board.
100. Brendan, you require 32.
It's been a wonderful riposte from Brendan Dolan. Just getting himself ready. Double 16. He loves it this side of the board, remember. But the adrenaline rushing through. What a fantastic dart. We are going all the way. Brendan Dolan keeps continuing to bounce back, and he's just like that terrier at the ankle of Gary Anderson. We are going the distance. Pick a winner from here, Dan.
Brendan Dolan once again in a real fight, and what a fight this is. He has the advantage of throwing first in this deciding set. You do have to win it by 2 clear legs, remember.
140.
21 40s in this match. He hasn't had the 180s he wanted, Brendan, but his scoring power is there.
Those first 3 sets, it wasn't a real Gary Anderson, but then he turned up
100.
And even when he was starting to flow, Brendan Dolan then dealt with him to mount a little fight back of his own. Gary's lost that set with 106 average.
84.
Just keeps his head above the parapet, but it's advantage Dolan.
$57.
And being hypercritical, that second dart really should have been at the 17s to then potentially go to the 18s, but
93.
you can understand under this intense high pressure, Dolan's still in control.
What a dart. He's starting to follow them more regularly.
100.
It was a little unfortunate just to come away with a ton 40. Gary's got lucky there. He hadn't hit the treble, he'd have left the bogey number. As it is, he is down to a finish.
Under the pressure that Brendan Dolan is, the way he's dealing with it, it's got to be admired. It's so commendable. And Gary has to hold his throw here.
Well, think back to Brendan Dolan's opening game against Mickey Mansell, and it went all the way to a sudden death leg in the deciding set, and he just kept on taking out shots like that with Mansell right there on his shoulder.
This is the game he wanted. He wanted a dogfight. He wanted to go to a last set scrap.
123.
It is Gary Anderson we are talking about here. He'll have been in this situation many times, you can see, but he's nervous, he's worried, and this man just looks cool and calm, doesn't he?
We've reached the stage of the game
96.
where every little mistake is magnified, and any little burst, a back-to-back spell of 12 darters, say, which both men are obviously capable, it could win the match.
100.
And remember, this is just the starter tonight.
Going to try and bully his way through to that treble 20.
100.
Couldn't get there. And Brendan will fancy leaving something makeable.
Remember what I said last set? This is what they practice on. 201 in 6 darts for moments like this.
130.
All around the board, picks up a couple of big trebles, and there is pressure. Well, Gary Anderson to the 18s now, and that only leaves the ball. And he gets the bullseye. Penalty shootout stuff, this, isn't it?
Well, he's just pinged that right in the top corner there, because I felt the 18s was not the route to go. What do I know? That's why Gary's up there and I'm in his comms box. What a game.
Nothing between them. But those lot make the difference. They're trying.
60.
Please believe me when I say Brendan's small pocket of family and friends there, in his mind, they'll be making that incredible noise that you can hear from the Ali Pali crowd right
60.
now. They've been very, very respectful, but that's what it does to them. Good job Brendan didn't see that.
45.
I think he might be feeling similar after that visit, because Gary Anderson's stolen the darts. Ton 40 punishes Dolan.
9 out of 10 for this match, 10 out of 10 for the crowd. They've been so respectful to both players, but when Gary is getting on top, they're going ballistic. Is this a turning point, Dan?
It's only 60. There is still a little glimmer of hope for Brendan Dolan in this leg. Oh, it's getting brighter.
I was about to say Brendan is a 180 away from his 200th of the year. What a time it would have been to get it then.
Could go to the bullseye. He didn't want the bullseye, he wanted the 25.
Yeah, that's why so many won the 15s. It's typical that happens, but what he'd give for a shot at it. 144 for Dolan. What a perfect dart. This match has had everything.
He took one out against Gerwyn Price at a crucial moment. He's nearly done it there, but he misses. And Anderson, double four. Worries the wire and cannot find the double.
And the coolest man in the building is the man approaching the hockey. Can he stay focused? Yes, he can.
Brendan Dolan is a leg away, but it has to be this leg. 2 darts missed to break for Gary Anderson. He'd be throwing for the match right now if he'd taken one of them.
And on the flip side, he's a leg away from being out. Sensational stuff here at the Ali Pally.
He was so far ahead in that leg on the Dolan darts. How many opportunities like that is he likely to get in this deciding set?
84.
Every mistake, a small mistake, but that last treble 19, it's like gold dust.
Snap of the hands in frustration from Brendan.
96.
Last dart trebles in these situations, they really hurt your opponent, don't they?
And the great players do it. Let's just do the battle of the last darts.
59.
There is a murmur around Ali Pally right now. It is tense.
What Dolan would give for a maximum right now. There's one. There's two. Wow!
The helicopter finger whirls. Gary Anderson. Double 10. Oh my, he misses inside and Brendan Dolan has a chance to win the match.
Brendan, you require 63.
To wrap it up and knock out the Flying Scotsman. Brilliant dart, double 12. Double 6. Brendan Dolan misses 2 for the match.
Gary, you require 10.
That's the marker. What a dart.
5.
Surely that's it. Brendan Dolan does not believe that this chance has fallen to him. Can he take it? Double 3. It is another huge scalp for Brendan Dolan. He was too good for Gerwyn Price, and he's been too good for Gary Anderson tonight. The Flying Scotsman came right back into it after nearly losing the first 3 sets. It looked like he turned it around and done the hard work, but Brendan Dolan said no with some big stuff, and he takes it for 3. And for just the second time in his career, he's a World Championship quarter-finalist. You can never write this man off, Glendoran.
What a match and what a player. Look at the smile on his face now. The pressure on that double 3 was absolutely incredible. The crowd got involved at the end, but fair play to Gary Anderson. He played his part and just so magnanimous in defeat. He was so respectful to Brendan Dolan before the match and during the game as well. But tonight belongs to Brendan Dolan.
Brendan Dolan takes out Gary Anderson in this wide open section of the draw. What a story, what a performance, what a man, Brendan Dolan. He is through to the quarter-finals. The history maker